On our Historic Trains of Colorado tour, August 21st through 30th, we see Colorado, home to the finest scenic railroads in the country, from classic 1950s-era steamliners of the Royal Gorge Route Railroad to steam trains that traverse the rugged Colorado Rocky Mountains. These Colorado scenic rails provide a way to relax and enjoy a taste of Colorado history and heritage. At the Wings Over the Rockies Air and Space Museum in Denver, we learn about the iconic aircraft, space vehicles, artifacts, military uniforms, and much more. A Jeep tour at Garden of the Gods allows you to visit the popular landmarks as well as more secluded area via the dirt roads that are often untouched by visitors. Your guide will also share with you the history and geology of the area. Following your Jeep tour, you'll have time to visit and shop at the Garden of the Gods Visitor Center and Nature Center. At the Penrose Heritage Museum, your guide will provide information and stories about the exhibits consisting of 30 carriages, Western culture artifacts, race cars, and more. You'll enjoy a self-guided tour of the United States Air Force Academy Visitor Center. A must-see highlight of the Academy is to visit the Cadet Chapel. Your first train adventure, you'll experience America's most spectacular rail journey aboard the Royal Gorge Route Railroad. Your rail journey brings you to the Royal Gorge Bridge and Park, home of America's highest suspension bridge and zip line. Your visit includes the bridge, unlimited gondola rides, the theater, and food vouchers to be used at any of the park restaurants.
In 1879, the Denver and Rio Grande Railway built over 200 miles of narrow gauge track from Antonito, Colorado to Silverton to service the mines deep within the San Juan Mountains. Now today, the Cumbres and Toltec Scenic Railroad operates on 64 miles of the original track and is the highest and longest narrow gauge railroad in North America.
This railway is located just south of New Mexico's border with Colorado in the town of Chama, headquarters for one of America's most appealing tourist railroads. The Cumbres and Toltec meanders back and forth along the New Mexico and Colorado border, where some of the most breathtaking scenery in North America can be seen.
The scenery is just amazing. It's kind of a spiritual thing in a way. It's just, the clouds seem closer, the moon seems closer.
It is a spiritual sort of experience. And I believe that's why people come year after year after year and ride this railroad.
Another thing they come to see is the vast collection of narrow gauge equipment the railway has. It's the largest in North America.
This is all equipment that operated over the Rio Grande, anything from locomotives to whether it's flat cars, stock cars, paint cars, to cabooses.
A visit to the Lions Yard and shops is truly a step back in time.
The morning of Day 6, you explore at your leisure the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad Museum. It's located in the original 1882 depot and provides a look into the fascinating history of railroading, transportation, and mining.
See them tumbling down, pledging their love to the ground. Lonely but free I'll be found, drifting along with the tumble and tumbleweed. Cares of the past are behind, nowhere to go but I'll find just where the trail will wind, drifting along with the tumble and tumbleweed.
Western movies and steam trains seem to go hand in hand, and the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad has been in plenty of good films. One of the most famous was Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Of course, the major draw for Hollywood is the breathtaking scenery.
This railway is located in the southwest corner of the state of Colorado, near the Arizona, New Mexico, and Utah borders. The 45 miles of track from Durango to Silverton were laid in only 11 months over unforgiving geography back in 1881 and 82. The objective was to move gold and silver ore from the San Juan Mountains to the smelter in Durango. But there was also another objective, to create a tourist railroad so passengers too could enjoy the breathtaking scenery.
Well, it always amazes me when I ride on something that's historic like this. I think about when the track was put in and what they had and the equipment they had. It was pretty much manual labor and black powder probably.
Imagine in 1882, men hanging by ropes using hand drills and black powder, creating this high line, about a 3-mile experience where you're lying 400 feet on a cliff above the Animas River.
You look up and you feel very small in looking at everything, and it's phenomenal. There's just nothing more that you can say about it.
In Golden, Colorado, you'll enjoy a self-guided tour at the Colorado Railroad Museum. This indoor-outdoor history museum features 100-plus vintage trains, as well as a miniature railroad exhibit. You're driving in the direction of home, but a final stop will be at the Archway, a unique architectural landmark that sits above I-80. It contains a museum on 19th century Western migration. So don't miss the train, as you join us on our Historic Trains of Colorado tour, August 21st through 30th.